Okay, and welcome to week 3 of the OEL Diamond Plus League. I am Coyle, and I am joined by a first-time caster from the OEL. This is going to be Lime Country, aka Tick, aka
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on here. It's great to cast with you, Coyle.
Thank you. Okay, so we're very excited to jump into these games today. For this first one, we have on the red side we have Foxhound Operations, and their top laner is going to be Wave Zix 2. Jungle is going to be Torch Storm. Mid laner is going to be Kakarot Goku. Bot lane is going to be Thought Dog, very creative. And then you've got the support, which is going to be the Rise.
Yep, and then on the other side, we have the no top laner Allow. Jungle, cause I'm a slug. Mid laner is going to be Danik. ADC is Trash, and support is Desi John.
Desi John, baby. Desi John Kuhn, as Trash had told us in the Champ Select. All right, so Lime Country, what do you think of the bans so far?
I think these are pretty standard bans so far. You have Thresh, Pike, Camille. They definitely don't want any engage. The now definitely doesn't want that engage on the other side. And kind of banning out comfort picks for the now, what Foxhound is doing. The Malzahar has been one of their staple champions in the mid lane. A Morgana to get rid of some of that peel. And then the Kaisa, which Trash is actually just a beast ADC. So getting him off of some of the carry ADCs is going to be important.
Absolutely. And, looking at some of the previous matches that they had played, they definitely do like to pick this Morgana. They like to pick the Kaisa, but also the now really like to pick this Jarvan, and they seem to have already got that as their first pick. Now, the Jarvan is actually a really interesting pick in my opinion, because it can be flex top. Now, usually this goes in the jungle for this team, but I guess we'll find out where it goes.
Yeah, and then having a Rakan with a Caitlyn, usually you see the Xayah Rakan combo because you get that longer jump range on the E and you get the little attack speed bonus for those trades in the bot lane. But doing it with the Caitlyn, so they definitely want some lane pressure bottom lane, but they also want that engage for the mid and late game with Rakan. And then picking up a Zyra to counter that. Wow, they're really going for that lane dominance on the side of the now. This is interesting.
Absolutely, and you want to see something that can back up that Zyra, and of course, as I'm talking about it, the Varus comes out. Now, this is also a very good, strong laner. A lot of people don't know about Varus's landing phase, but it can actually be very strong. And if he does get ahead of this Caitlyn, expect to see that bot lane kind of lose that prio on the side of Foxhound Operations.
Definitely. Varus Zyra, very strong, especially level 6. Varus gets that ulti into a guaranteed route and just one-shot potential from the Zyra. So let's see what their bans are coming in for Foxhound. The Rise, very, very good competitive ban. Just allowing you to move around the map a lot faster with the ultimate. They also picked up a Vladimir on Foxhound. I don't know if we mentioned that. Very strong later in the game for those team fights. So we're actually probably going to see a lot of scrapping and brawling and just full-on 5v5 team fights, it looks like, between these two teams.
Absolutely. And, I do have to give a shout out to the two impact players on the now. You've got Slug in that jungle. He seems like he's a superstar jungler. Looks like one of the best in the Diamond Plus League. But right now, in the front of the MVP races, you have Trash, who looks like he is just unmatchable in the bot lane. And the fact that they have him on Varus this game seems like he's just going to keep going with that, going to make up for some really strong plays, and is going to make the difference this game.
Yeah, definitely seems like that. Picking the Varus with almost no peel. We'll see what they pick their mid laner here, though. But the Zyra isn't going to be able to protect him much, and they have an insane engage on the other side for Foxhound, so they're by no means losing this draft. Yeah, like pick a Sejuani, you have Rakan. That's a Varus without, appealing support. So if they get ahead early, the now, which is looking like what they want to do with a winning bot lane, a early game jungler, I mean, they could easily roll over this game in 20 minutes.
Yes, but I do have to say, Allow usually likes to play these tanks up in the top lane. It would
Hmm.
probably work best for their team comp, actually.
Yeah.
And the Lux pick coming out in the mid lane, we don't know exactly where this Vladimir is going yet, so we don't know what the counter pick is going to be. But Lux seems like a pretty strong blind pick. And you know what? Even they could whip out the Zyra mid. We do not know yet.
That is true. Zyra mid would be something to see for sure. Okay, there we go.
Tom
Actually,
Kench.
that is what is that? The Tom
That
Kench
is
top
Tom
lane?
Kench top lane.
Oh, wow.
That is the Tom Kids top lane, baby. Shout out to LS. He told us that this would be a great pick, and it is. In the LeBlanc locked in for the last pick. Going to get that counter pick onto the Lux, most likely. LeBlanc is good at blowing up this Lux, good at getting in against this Varus. Very mobile champion. Going to be hard to lock down by that Zyra and that Varus as well.
Yeah, and just as I was saying that now they don't have any peel for their Varus, they just put the peel in the top lane with Tom Kench. So this team fights, he's actually going to be pretty well protected. And they definitely seem like they're going for some lane prio. Tom Kench, one of the biggest lane bullies in the game right now for top lane. He's going up against the Vladimir. I know Vlad should have an easier time than most because he's ranged, but I mean, if that Tom Kench gets his 3 stacks on you, you are pretty much dead to rights.
Absolutely. And he will actually, Tom Kench is definitely a really strong champion in the top lane right now because of the W nerfs, but also the W buffs in the same way. He's able to do a lot of damage. He's not able to move quite as fast with that W now because he does get rooted, or I should say grounded, and he does lose a lot of move speed. But in the top lane, he's still a super strong champion, able to win a lot of trades that he maybe should not. Now, the matchup that I really, really am excited to see is going to be Treyish versus this Caitlyn, or versus Thought Dog. This bot lane is going to be very, very hypey. Expect to see either one of these bot lanes maybe snowball into this late game.
Yeah, definitely looking at this bot lane here is kind of what I think decide the game. Treyish, they're looking to go hard on this bot lane. And Thought Dog, I think, actually has an excellent pick with the Caitlyn. If you want to kind of just poke, kind of back off with the net, if they engage a little too hard. The Rakan is there for some peel, jungler ganks. He's able to just go in with the W and then E back. So I think it's going to be up to Foxhound to mitigate kind of the damage coming in from the spot lane. But I'm really liking drafts on both teams. Seems a little bit more catered towards the late game for Foxhound, but I mean, it could go either way.
Absolutely, and that was what I was just looking at. Was actually Foxhound scaling is going to be really hard to match. Now, even though Tom Kench can get extremely tanky towards the later game, Vladimir is still going to be scaling up. He's still going to be a side lane monster. There's no way that this Lux will be able to match him in the side lanes. You're going to have to send that Tom Kench, but Tom Kench works best in team fights. So we'll just have to see how this Vladimir, how this LeBlanc, because they can set up the 1-3-1 with this team comp if they'd like to, with that Sejuani peeling off for the Caitlyn, with the Rakan peeling off for the Caitlyn. This Caitlyn's going to be really safe in a 1-3-1 environment. And really, I can only see the now going with a 4-1 in this composition.
Yeah, and another thing to point out is Foxhound, Kakarot Goku on the LeBlanc versus 3 squishies. And depending on that Jarvan, if he goes warrior, into more of a damagey build, that could potentially be 4 squishies looking at for a LeBlanc. So this is kind of the perfect team to play against if you're on that LeBlanc. You have so many different targets. That Zyra, yeah, she's really good in lane, but not getting picked off by a LeBlanc or getting ulted by the Rakan and then, into a Sejuani is going to be very difficult in the mid game. So I'm actually really curious to see what happens mid game for these teams, because it seems like it's a battle of, how hard can we push the early game? And, for Foxhound, they're going to be just looking, hey, get to mid game, get even lanes going. We don't want to, push too far ahead. We just want to look to go even and stall things out. So it'll be great to see what's going to happen here.
And as we get into the mastery screen for these players, I do have to ask you, Tick, what do you think, or who do you think takes this game?
I think the Now is going to take this game. I think they're a little bit favored in the matchup. They have definitely shown that they can carry games through their ADC. Treyas is excellent. He has decided to, be the main carry for this team, and he is just, taking every game with vengeance. It seems like he is not letting go of his leads, and he's just pushing it to the max. So we'll see how this goes. Definitely have something to prove for Foxhounds, and they definitely have a game plan going into it, which is what I like. But yeah, definitely the edge to the Now.
And I do agree with you on the Now. I think that their team fight is just a little bit stronger, even though they're not going to be able to match that 1-3-1 in the later game. I don't think this game gets to that later game point just because of how this team works, how this team spikes in the mid game, and how easily it can be for this team to snowball, especially with the Jarvan in the jungle. Even though he did go Conqueror, it's still a very strong choice for him. He's going to be going up against a tanky Sejuani. He's going to be in long extended fights. So, we're getting into the game now, and I'm very excited to see how this all plays out.
Yep, looks like they're going for the invade here. Gets 11 gold from the Spell Thieves, but, not much was burned. Not much was really blown. Rakan did have to start W. He would prefer to start Q just for the extra Spell Thieves procs for level 1, but no, it doesn't really matter that much.
And Tick, as a support main, is it GG easy once you get that 11 gold on that first invade?
Oh, it's over. The gold lead has swung in the favor of Now. It is just, an easy game from here.
And it looks like they set up a little bit of a wardage inside of that tri-brush on the bot side. They're just trying to get a little bit of vision for this Sejuani, maybe see if they can catch this Jarvan looking for a level 2. It's a smart ward for them, even though they do have a ward on the blue buff.
Yeah, and as a jungler, when your team has a Zyra in it and gives you that sick leash with 3 plants, just hitting it, how good does that feel?
It feels really good, actually, and especially whenever you can speed up your Varus's attack speed by just planting down that flag. This Jarvan pick, I love the early clear on him. He's a really fun champion as well with his flag and drag combination, and also just putting down that giant cataclysm all over the entire team fight.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be the Now's basically early game here. It's up to them to be proactive with the Jarvan. Looks like they're going for... Oh, no, he decided not to go for the bot lane gank. Maybe they got communicated that there was a ward there, because I did think they saw him put that ward down. But he's just going to, I think, go straight to his blue buff and maybe loop around mid or top.
And another ward onto these blue buffs. They want to make sure that they can track these this early game jungler as much as they can, so that he can't get a surprising gank off. Sejuani is completely dark right now, but they know that she is probably going to be up in her top side. Now, if you're looking in this bot lane, you can see that the Zyra is doing what she needs to do. She's poking out this Caitlyn, making it a little bit easier for Treyas to step up, and Rakan is just trying to give this health back to his Caitlyn, but she just keeps melting it away.
Yeah, this bot lane definitely seems like they already have the favor in the Now, which is kind of what we expected. Oh man, just look at all that poke that's come down. Full HP from both of them, and Thought Dog, even though he has a kind of more safe pick with the Caitlyn, it's still just getting poked down by the Varus and all the plants coming in the bot lane.
And thank goodness that Rakan goes Guardian, because if he did not, this Caitlyn would definitely be a lot lower than she already is.
Oh, and she's pretty low.
Treyas might look here. They do get a lure onto the Rakan, just going to get a piercing arrow, going to look for the Caitlyn, not going to find it. He was looking to get the kill there. He wants to snowball this lane out.
They're off that lane. That's 6 minions that, I guess Rakan's staying, but Caitlyn doesn't get those 6 minions there. That is already a huge lead. 30 CS to 15 at 4 minutes. A 15 CS disadvantage already.
And it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a gank into the mid lane from the Sejuani. Not going to find much out of it, but Jarvan is here for the counter gank. Not going to look to go back in. Smart decision by the Jarvan. Would not like to see him go into that, you know, with his with his Lux being such low health.
Scuttle battle?
Scuttle battle incoming. Sejuani is there, but the bot lane is moving up. We will see what happens here. And actually, there's a trade in the mid lane. LeBlanc going in, going to get the root off onto the Lux. Not going to get much else out of that. Sejuani making her way back into the mid lane. Jarvan still being tracked, still in the bot side jungle. Vladimir just looking to get a little bit of a trade down onto the Tahm Kench.
Yeah, this is looks like it's just going to be a farming top lane between the two of them. Tahm Kench really isn't going to take that much damage with his gray health. He's going to be regenerating most of it back up. And Vladimir, again, just going to be regenerating all of the HP that Tahm Kench deals. So probably not much is going to happen top lane. You see Sejuani heading up, though.
Sejuani is heading up, and I don't believe Allow knows. And actually, he does not. And Sejuani going to hit the charge. And this actually just looks like an easy cleanup if Tahm Kench cannot get out. The gray health goes away. One hit. Will Vladimir be able to get him? No, he gets stopped by the turret. He flashes in. He's going to look to get the pull down, and he might pick this kill up. Oh, no. And he's not going to do it. Sejuani comes back.
She's dead. She's dead.
And she's going to get traded back. LeBlanc looking to make a little bit of a trade into the mid lane. And Lux almost dies. Actually, she's going to go back in. LeBlanc gets it with the Sigil of Malice. What an insane moment there. And actually, I believe that Foxhound definitely comes out, and Sejuani did not die.
Yeah, Sejuani died, but she executed. Tahm Kench didn't get anything from that. If he autoed her once or licked her once with his Q, with the tongue lash, they would have gotten a good trade there, but instead, the kill goes over to the Sejuani, who is going to need that to influence the other parts of the map. And then LeBlanc just gets a solo kill on the Lux, which is already not going to go great for Lux, even if they were even. So, you know, it's turning out to be in Foxhound's favor. And they're keeping the Varus at bay here in the bot lane with the Cole on the Caitlyn. Oh, but they did get the Infernal. So, I mean, you can debate whether or not that's worth 2 kills, but that is going to be very nice for them going into the mid game.
And this Sejuani is making sure that his bot lane can walk up so that they don't get, but they do just get caught by the Zyra root. But she's going to look to continue going in, not going to find the stun down. And Rakan goes really, really deep, and he's just gonna get dropped by the Jarvan. Jarvan gonna look to get another kill here, maybe.
Oh, no.
And they give it over to Treyish, and that is not good. You don't want to see kills on this Varus, and that's exactly what they just did.
Number 1 rule of League of Legends: don't gank your losing lane. They did not have the lead. It's a cold Caitlyn. She doesn't have anything really to do in these team fights, and the Jarvan perfectly executed on the counter gank, was ready and waiting for that Rakan. He missed his W and was actually unable to get the knockup on Zyra, so she ends up living too. They didn't even trade anything, so 2 kills go straight over to the Now. And look, they already have like what, 3 plates here? Yeah. Oh my, it's not looking too great for Foxhound all of a sudden.
And if you actually look at the gold if you look at the gold differences right now, Treyish is almost up 1k gold, Zyra is almost up 1k gold, but we have a little bit of a trade up into the top lane. Jarvan is down here. They're going to find the root onto the Caitlyn, going to get a little bit of a proc here. Cataclysm coming down onto the Caitlyn, not going to make much difference. Treyish is going to look to try to kill the Rakan, and LeBlanc actually finds the chain. Going to hit the double chain. 2 chains, as Bjergsen would say, and just not going to be able to get away. This Tahm Kench dies, and this is actually looking very poor for the side of the Now on that trade.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a tale of 2 lanes here. Top lane is going awful for them. This Tahm Kench is really not working out. But yeah, 8 minutes, 40 seconds. They get all 5 plates onto Treyish. We've already mentioned is very excellent at pushing his lead, across the map and getting his team ahead and just carrying games. I would say this early game, though, even though it's 3 kills to 3, definitely in the favor of the Now, as they got all 5 plates on that bottom tray and first tower gold.
And basically, they're up 2.4K right now. But just look at the bot lane difference right now. You have a looks like a 1.7K gold lead in the favor of Treysh. This is not what you want to see. And actually, in the mid lane, though, you have the LeBlanc up almost 1,000 gold onto this on the Lux. So we'll actually see if LeBlanc can get in onto the bot laner in these fights, and it looks like they're just going for a little bit of a lane swap.
Yeah, I would definitely say Foxhound is going to want to get that LeBlanc ahead and then just go for that Varus every single team fight. Because what real peel do they have other than the Tom Kench being near him, who's probably going to be splitting, doing something else in the meantime anyways. So other than like a Lux shield, I don't really see a whole lot this Varus can actually do for do against this LeBlanc if she gets fed. Oh.
And it looks like they're just going to find a little bit of a Sejuani R onto the Lux. Not going to be able to pick up another kill off of this, and LeBlanc is just going to continue getting more ahead of this Lux. But you've got Treysh in the top lane now. He's looking to get these plates, and the Zyra is also eating these plates as well. There is such big gold lead, and you can see the Jarvan's actually right behind the bot lane. They might look to just dive in on them.
Yeah, they're going to dive. Rakan is level 6 now, though, but... Oh,
and the Zyra Thorns find their way. Jarvan is going to look to kill this Caitlyn. Caitlyn is not going to be able to get a kill on this Jarvan. And Jarvan, what? Oh, but the giant Cataclysm coming through, and Vladimir is just TP'd into the wrong situation. Sigil of Malice finds its way onto Jarvan, and Treysh just flashes forward onto this Vladimir, going to find the kill onto him. And LeBlanc is going to look to maybe go back in. I do not know. She looks really frisky. Might want to get this Krug away. Gets the Krug.
Yeah, she doesn't have Ludens yet. She's not going to be able to really get that one-shot potential down on anyone yet. And they're sending everything to deal with Treysh, and the Now is just pushing back. He seems unstoppable already. Got 2 plates in top lane. Got another kill there in that exchange onto Vladimir. And now they're just going to get the Herald. They can put that mid for another, 3 plates.
And it looks like LeBlanc is just going to look to get another kill onto this Lux. Lux is definitely overextending, and she just drops again. This is going to be a battle between the LeBlanc and the Varus. This is what this is going to turn out to be. But if you look at the gold, actually, this Zyra almost has more gold than the LeBlanc.
Yeah, I definitely think this game is going to be Treysh versus Kakarot Goku here. Can that LeBlanc assassinate the Varus with all of their damage, all of their kills?
You can see another 2 plates going towards the side of Treysh, and they're actually going to look to continue onto this turret. They're probably going to get this if I had to guess.
Yep, they're going to get this 2nd tier top lane turret as well. And we'll see if... I think they're just going to, give up on the Herald. Not kind of like walk it in for that hit onto the inhib turret, but that's another turret. I think this Varus has gotten 10 plates so far. He is just a monster at this point.
Absolutely. And if you look at the gold graphs now, you've got the Varus up 3,000 gold on this Caitlyn. The Caitlyn pick is going to look to scale up, but when you're down almost 50 CS, you're not going to be able to scale like you want to.
Yeah, and amazing. I love this so much. The item choice that Treysh Treysh already know. Oh,
and they're going to go in, and just the Lux dies again. This Lux is getting bullied at this point. But you know what? I don't know if they should be going straight in and using everything onto the Lux. They should look to save that Sejuani ult to maybe lock down this. And Jarvan going to go in with the flag and drag, going to find the Sejuani. Sejuani splashes out. And Treysh does not have Piercing Arrow. And actually Cataclysm by the Jarvan. He's going to drop. Actually, he's just going to give the kill over to LeBlanc most likely. And LeBlanc does pick up that kill. And and that is terrible. The roots from the Zyra is able to find its way onto the LeBlanc and actually just kills that LeBlanc there. He hits the R. And Treysh is going to look to get another 5 plates.
Yeah, unfortunately, turret plating goes down right now. They weren't able to get that last plate, but My goodness. See, he built Murtrits because he knows this LeBlanc's gunning for him. But that LeBlanc was so focused on the Jarvan just, diving them that put all their damage into the Jarvan. Yeah, the Jarvan goes down, but that just leaves Trash to immediately follow up and get all his damage up on the Rakan and the Sejuani and kill the LeBlanc. And I think got a shutdown for her.
I believe he did as well. Oh, I don't think he did. He just got a good amount of gold off of that. But at this current moment, what do you see being the win condition for Foxhound?
Foxhound, like I said, need to use this LeBlanc. They need to group up. They have a great team fighting champ with Vladimir Sejuani. And you need to have the LeBlanc on the sides looking for picks onto this Varus, on Trash. Because that is the only way they're going to be able to win these fights. If Trash lives in any of these fights, they automatically lose. No questions about it.
Absolutely, and you can actually see Trash does not have a QSS yet, so he is completely vulnerable to being hit by a Sejuani R, and Tom Kinch only has his Abyssal Voyage to get into these fights if he's going to be side laning, so he's not going to be able to be there for the Varus to be able to get him out.
Yeah, I mean, he has the Murtreds, like I said, but that's still not enough to get you, out of Sedge ult enough time to where, their entire team's going to be on you. That LeBlanc only needs, half a second to one-shot you, even through Murtred. So they're going to have the Tom Kench near him at all times, but he has to split push versus this Vlad.
Yeah, he has to answer the Vlad, or else Vlad would become a big monster in that late game, and we do not want that on the side of the Now. It looks like this is just going to be a bunch of ward battles, just going to looking to get as many wards down as they can, and also clear out as many wards as they can. They seem to be favoring this bot side of the map, and they're pinging onto this Rakan, and actually Zyra just walks up way too far. She's just going to drop for her troubles and gives over a giant shutdown to that LeBlanc. This is the last person you want to see getting that shutdown.
Yeah, I could just imagine Trash is like, please stop giving it to the fed LeBlanc. Oh no. Because, I mean, it doesn't matter how fed you are as an ADC. If they have an assassin, they're just going to one-shot you regardless. So, I mean, you hate to see it, but I think Trash positioning is going to be good enough in these fights to avoid it.
And it looks like you're about to have a little bit of a skirmish here by the Jarvan. He is going to get out with a flag and drag interaction. Gotta love it.
Yep. Very great interaction. I mean, this Sejuani, again, she's going to be going very tanky. Ori has the ninja tabbies for the Varus, but, I mean, he's going... Oh,
and he's going to look to get onto Trash. They're going to find him. Will they be able to drop him? And Sejuani is just going to continue on to Trash. Will they find it? They will. And Sejuani, and actually Rakan gets the shutdown onto it. You would have rather seen it go onto the LeBlanc. Now they're looking to continue this fight. I do not know if Foxhound can win this fight. They seem to be a little bit too low. LeBlanc going to look to stay outside of the fight. And Caitlyn is probably going to drop from the Tom Kinch. Misses the Q. And actually, she might get out if Jarvan does not have Cataclysm. Oh, and the lick comes through. He unbenched the Kinch, and that fight went both ways in that entire skirmish. That went both ways. The Trash was out of that fight, but the problem is that he got the chain of corruption and the piercing arrow down, which did enough damage to keep the other members of Foxhound out of that fight.
Yeah, they sent 2 people to basically suicide for Trash in that fight. And the LeBlanc wasn't there to just one-shot him like she needs to be. So another fight that goes in favor of the Now. 2 Infernals. That is a lot of extra damage that's going to be coming from the Varus. And not only the Varus, but this Lux is actually going to be silently scaling up. And you see the Jarvan is going... He went Warriors into Black Cleaver, so he's going to have a lot of damage. This Caitlyn is probably going to be non-existent this game. Which, unfortunate.
Caitlyn hasn't finished an item yet, but they are looking to go onto this Rakan. Not going to find much out of it. Just going to have Tom Kinch walk up very menacingly. Has the tongue ready if they do walk up. A little bit of a PM steal by the Lux.
Yeah, I definitely think Foxhound, what they want to do right here is just stall the game. You don't have a dragon coming up. Baron is coming up in a minute, so get vision around there, but don't really go in.
And LeBlanc is rooted down. She's gonna take a lot of damage from the binding light, but not gonna have much else happen. Vladimir looking to get a little bit of a trade down, a little bit of damage onto this Tahm Kench, but it's not gonna do much. And it seems like Tahm Kench is going fully protective, trying to keep this Varus up. They're gonna push up for the mid-tier 2.
Yeah, very good at recognizing what their win condition is in this team. He realizes we need to keep Treyas alive, gets the Knight's Vow, is grouping up a lot more, and they just group up and do all the damage on the LeBlanc, which is all of their damage. And then once she was out of the fight, they could just push down that tier 2 in the mid lane.
And you would like to see this LeBlanc maybe start to make... You want to see this team, Foxhound Operations, try to let this Caitlyn at least get her IE before they fight their next fight so she can lay down some more consistent DPS. The problem is that she's getting starved out of CS right now. She's not able to go into any lane safely without being in danger.
Yeah,
Chain of Corruption going to land down onto the Vladimir. Vladimir's just going to pull out, and that is actually a pretty big cooldown Treyas just used there.
Yep, definitely. The Vlad, very slippery of a champion. He has his pool to just get out of things, and I do like them trying to get their combo with the Chain of Corruption into Luxol, because you can pretty much do that no matter where the Lux is, because it has a very long range on that ultimate, and it's a very short cooldown.
And you can notice that Caitlyn finally has her IE. Now you're going to look to do a little more damage with this ADC. And you can see they're actually shadowing this Caitlyn a little bit to keep her safe so she can walk up for some CS. She needs that CS.
Yeah, 4 CS left on that Cole where she gets a little bit more gold. I think it's 350 bonus gold immediately after it. And yep. There she gets it.
And there goes her 350 gold. She gets the value out of that. Zyra going to look to root up this Rakan. Not going to find the root, but will find the ward. Puts another ward in there. It's the battle of the sweepers.
Ooh, as a support player, I approve. This is a lot of vision battles. Those plants are also extremely annoying when you're trying to get vision down because they last forever. She has the Leandries.
Oh, and they're going to find the Varus, actually, because Zyra dodged out, but they won't be able to blow him up fast enough. They do find the charm onto him. Vladimir gets the big shutdown onto that on the Treyish, but Zyra also picking up some kills. Dude, Caitlyn is trying to get some damage down onto this Tahm Kench. Not going to find it, and actually it looks like, Jarvan just cleans up onto the Sejuani. They're pinging that Baron. They're going to be able to do it.
That's Baron. Yeah, that was a really good fight for the Now. They managed to just decimate. Again, the LeBlanc was not able to get in because of the hard engage from that Jarvan. He's picking these fights really well. And the Zyra is also following up with a ton of damage and zoning from her ultimate. Leandries as well is going to be chunking out the tanks on their team. So it's just, an easy Baron for the Now. And they can just basically push any lane they want to.
And I expect to see Foxhound run immediately to this dragon to maybe look to get the trade back. It's not going to be very much of a trade. It is a Mountain Drake, so it will help them push down turrets. But at this point, you don't really have that option. But it looks like actually the Now is going to look to contest. They're going to try to collapse onto this Tahm Kench. Not going to find the Chain of Corruption.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. That's a Mountain Dragon. Not going to be too useful for Foxhound because they're not really pushing anything at the moment. But it is going to be very useful for the Now. So they didn't want to quite deny it. I don't think they had a huge chance at winning the team fight. So they're just going to want to look to maybe give up these outers. There's only one left. They're pushing bot lane. And maybe fight under an inhibitor tower. They have a decent team fight, but they're almost, 8,000 gold behind? Yeah, that's not going to go too well. I mean, this is their best chance, but, I can also see a world where they just give it.
Yep, and you know, and another thing that we need to hit on with this team comp that the Now do have. Look at all of the AOE damage that they can put out. You've got the Lux, you've got the Zyra, you've got the Varus, and it looks like they're going to lock down the Sejuani, and the Chain of Corruption actually misses the Sejuani, so they're not going to be able to land that. That's a pretty big cooldown down on the on Treyas. They're going to look to go in at Rakan, get the 3-man knockup.
Oh my!
Be a disastrous fight for the Now. Maybe Treyas is able to get out, not going to be able to take him down yet. And Treyas is going to go down. Oh no, he's going to be able to dodge out the Tom Kid saves. And they're going to look to try to get this Caitlyn. Caitlyn's coming in. She's mad. Give me that landing phase gold. And she gets it back. The ace comes out from the side of Foxhound. It's a clean ace. That was an insane fight. All of those cooldowns that they used early, they wasted all of those cooldowns and lose the fight because of those cooldowns being down.
Yeah, they tried to force a little too hard. They just wanted that turret. But in the end, they didn't even get the turret. It lived with like 10% left. And the AoE team fighting potential that we talked about from Foxhound in the mid game is finally coming to life. Excellent engage from the Rise. He managed to get a Rakan ulti on I think every single one of them, on all of their backline for sure, and knocked them up. And it was just an almost perfect engage for them. They get so much gold in their pockets. I think that Caitlyn ended up getting a shutdown. And I mean, she's not back in it, but she's definitely
making her way downtown.
Yeah, making her way downtown. They're only about 4,000 gold down now instead of 8,000. And yeah, Vladimir, he's a scaling champion. This is his time to shine.
Yeah, and you can see that Treyas has actually went for the Gwynsu's Blade of the Ruin King. Now, I've seen a lot of people actually going towards the crit builds now because of the recent Gwynsu's nerf, but he's looking to get out consistent damage. He's looking to get his passive stacked up really quickly so he can burst down, which is what this team is looking to do. You can see Jarvan is still just building damage, so they're looking to just burst down really quickly with their carries. But if they're not able to get that burst down, expect Foxhound to win these overall fights just because of how this champion pool works. And Sejuani is super tanky right now.
Yeah, Treyas finally bought that QSS, which would have actually saved him in that last engage. So I don't even know if Foxhound could do the same thing they did last fight, because that Rakan ulti isn't going to work on Treyas now. He has the QSS to stop it, and triple MR items with the QSS, Hex Drinker, and Merc Tread. So he's definitely knows that he's being focused in these fights and keeps building towards itemization for the magic resist. So we'll see how this next fight goes.
But you know what is terrifying is that once this Caitlyn starts getting more items, the fact that they're building all of these magic resist, and actually it's going to get gone onto the Jarvan. Jarvan is actually going to get the kill from the Lux. The Tom Kench TPs from behind. They're just going to look to get this kill onto Caitlyn, and Tom Kench doing Tom Kench things, getting the lick out, not going to be able to swallow up the Vladimir to bring him into the team. I would have liked to actually see the Tom Kench deliver somebody into that backline so that they could continue that fight. But they do get the one trade off onto the Caitlyn. They're not going to be able to have that DPS come down.
LeBlanc is on the side. You can tell she's looking to find Treyas right here. But there is a lot of peel with the Tom Kench. He's just standing on top of Treyas here. And I don't think, LeBlanc's going to really be able to find a way to get into this. They're holding pretty well. Caitlyn's back up. Oh, and here we go for another fight.
And they're not going to find the Sejuani R onto the Lux, but they will find a little bit of damage onto her. Sejuani is probably just going to drop here because she's not able to really run away. Actually, she gets out, and LeBlanc is sitting right in there. She's going to look to blow up Danik, not going to find it.
And but that's the wrong target. It's a 1 in 5 Lux. Oh, and then that's just the pick on the Rakan.
And Foxhound looked like they had a little bit of a sign of life, but it looks like they're just starting to lose this game a little bit more so.
Yeah, it's just one pick after the other. They got that one really good fight, and now it's just turret and inhibitor demolition from the Now.
And you have to look at your win condition here if you are Foxhound. You need to get onto Trace. You need to burn that QSS and put more CC onto him. But if you're not looking to get onto him and you're just looking for any old pick, you're not going to win these fights at all. Trace is too big to be ignored.
Yeah, definitely. But LeBlanc looking for the pick on Lux, maybe trying to go for an easy pick off to deter them from the push. But you got to think, if the now counter engages that and you didn't pick off the Varus, you're just going to end up losing that fight completely. And that's kind of what happened.
And GA coming out on the side of for Treyish. It looks like he's just going to go for full resistances now with that QSS, with that Maul of Memorius.
Yeah, he bought a GA now too. That is 4 defensive items if you include the Merc Treads. He only has 2 damage items. And I guess the Hex Drinker gives a little bit of AD, and so does the GA, but I mean, he's really only had 2 damage items.
Looks like a little bit of a death brush is being set up, but the Jarvan easily can take care of that. He does enough damage to clear out a bush on his own. They don't need anybody else to walk up with him. And it looks like Treyish is going to walk mid lane, going to look to pick up some of this farm. Lux is also, but they're going to start up with Baron.
Baron, I don't see Vlad teleport coming in. They're probably going to wait till it gets a little bit lower.
Vlad might want to look for TP right now, and he is looking to TP, but they do find the route from the Zyra onto the LeBlanc. And actually, Jarvan is gonna drop down, but Treyish is still up. They need to look to disengage right now, just so that they can cut their losses. And Tahm Kench is gonna ult it, but he does not have Treyish.
Yeah, that seems like a misclick there, where they didn't join the Tahm Kench.
Might just pick up this Varus. Oh wait, Vladimir goes ahead and just pops the Zanyas to save some time. Will they be able to get these death timers up? And it looks like they're TPing onto the Super Minion to try to keep it alive as long as possible. A root comes down from the Caitlyn. Will they look to engage? This Rakan does not have ult, and looks like Trace is just going to look to kill this Caitlyn, but he goes too deep. He actually goes down.
They might have been able to defend it.
And they will be able to defend it. This Tahm Kench is not going to be able to. And it looks like LeBlanc is going to try to kill Treyish, but he's not going to be able to get in. Tahm Kench is way too big up in that front.
Yep, she doesn't. She flashed forward too, which is so unfortunate. Doesn't get the damage she wanted. Again, the four defensive items on Treyish now. So he's not doing as much damage as you'd think, but he definitely is just playing these fights like a AD carry should. You know, dealing as much damage as possible, going for nearest target, and just peeling himself back. And that is all he needs to do with Blade of the Ruin King and Ginsu's, you know, does a ton of % health damage to the Sejuani. So if Sejuani jumps on him, she's just going to vanish, even with Gargoyles, even with Warmonks.
And you know, even though Treyish is not building full damage, you need to look at the team comp of the now right now. You can see they have Zyra, they have Lux. They are still putting out lots of damage, even with Treyish building a little bit more defensively. But with those defensive items, he's able to stay alive and provide that DPS that's needed. Now they're going to look to start up the Baron. This might be another fight, and Vladimir is just going to clear the bot side. There's no way they can fight without this Vladimir. They're going to have to look for a lucky steal.
Yeah, no TP on the Vladimir. They're just looking for the lucky steal, and the Now knows this, and they just peel off.
The Now back off. Nice way of taking the 50, not taking the 50-50 play. They don't want to do that. They want to try to see if they can expand any of those important cooldowns on the side of Foxhound.
Yeah, they're going to need someone to kind of get the Sejuani away from that Baron. But, you know, if Lau needs to tank the Baron because he's their tankiest member, but,
Sejuani comes in, not going to find the Baron, but was rooted outside of the Baron pit. And Jarvan is going to go over the wall. He might actually just drop because Caitlyn's doing a lot of damage, and he does drop.
That's big.
So the Now does pick up the Baron, but they lose a major part of their engage, which is that Jarvan.
I'm gonna say worth. one for Baron is usually pretty worth. They have 2 inhibitors down, which means they can just push in, take it easy until he comes back up, and then reset and go top lane, get that final inhibitor turret and inhibitor. Actually, the inhibitors respawned right now, so they could just go down mid and get the 2 inhibs. Uh, let's see what dragon this is. It's another mountain. So I don't know how useful that is for the now, because I actually found out mountain dragons do not work on inhibitors.
Yep, they do
So
not work on inhibs. They do work on Nexus turrets. And, they've only got that one little Nexus turret left hanging on for dear life. But the Now would much rather like to see maybe a Cloud Drake or an Ocean Drake come out rather than this mountain, which is going to be a third mountain.
yeah, probably not the one they want the most. Just the first dragon of Cloud or Ocean would be a little bit more useful, but they're not too picky. They'll take any dragon they want because
More
they
gold.
have that map pressure. Yeah, and
More
they
gold.
look like they're just going for the inhibs right through mid and bot, and then maybe rotate up top.
And they're checking around. This Jarvan is looking very scary. Look at him. He's walking really menacingly.
Yep.
Caitlyn is going to get a little bit of damage down. She has GA now, so she won't immediately die, but she will immediately go into GA.
Treyas, GA is down. Miss on the
Ooh, and the miss on the Sejuani ult. This is actually a really big cooldown to go down. And it looks like Vladimir did Vladimir ult there? I think he did.
Oh, wow.
But they do find a pretty big, a really good recon engage, and they're going to charge Treyas. Treyas is going down. And Treyas able to kite back, not going to die yet. He's over this wall. Sejuani goes onto Treyas. Will he find it? No, he won't. Treyas does not go down. Caitlyn is inside of the GA right now. They miss all their CC onto her. She's going to look to get a little bit of a kill here. She's going to find Jarvan. Will she be able to kite back enough to be able to kill Treyas? And Treyas is just healing up way too much. This is going to be the game.
Yeah, that's the game. Treyas messed up his QSS there, but was actually able to peel back and win the game just through, surviving with a little bit of HP. But the Now 27 kills with a 11,000 gold lead at the end manages to take the victory from Foxhound.
Yeah, and looking at this game, if I was Foxhound, I would not be too worried about losing this game, actually. They fell down a lot in the early game, and that definitely is an issue. But the way that they kept this game going, they were down almost 8K at one point, and they kept themselves in this game for that long. I would not look at this as like a complete loss. They still lose, but to be able to hold Treyas down like they did while he was so fed and had so much gold, they definitely did what they needed to do.
Yeah, I definitely think both teams played this very well. A Foxhound got in a really disadvantageous position with basically him getting 10 turret plating early game. If they managed to stifle him a little bit more, I actually think Foxhound had a really good shot at this game. But unfortunately, they were unable to kind of find those team fights and take the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And the LeBlanc was really fed. And the way that this Caitlyn made her way back into this game, I thought was really impressive. I think that this was a strong showing from both teams, and Treyas just still showing people why he is considered the best AD carry and maybe even the best player in this league right now, with just popping off, doing a lot of damage, always being consistent on his positioning. Now, even though he had a little bit of a weird, shaky fight sometimes, he was still able to do as much DPS as he could. And even with 3 defensive items, he was still doing the most damage in the game.
Yeah, and I also think because I'm a slug, the jungler actually played a huge role in all of their team fights as well. He managed to get a lot of picks that led to, objectives. And even though he ended up dying in a lot of fights, he died for the team. He died to take out one of their carries. He kept the LeBlanc occupied. And, that LeBlanc was never able to really get on the Varus, which was kind of the whole point of it. And unfortunately, that kind of made them lose the game a bit.
Yeah, and just a little bit too much peel coming out. But, before we go into intermission towards our next game, who do you think deserves MVP of this game?
Oh, for sure it's going to be Treyas. He played an excellent game. He managed to, you know, snowball his lead into other lanes, and he kited out all those fights so well, sometimes living with just barely a sliver of HP. and kind of just turning the whole game on their head.
Absolutely. And before we do get or actually we're going to take a quick break before the next game. So thank you guys for watching. Please do stick around for the next game. It's going to be a really hype one as well. We've got Neuroshock versus Recon 5, by the way.